So we know it isn't easy to live in a body where you are accustomed to focusing and feeling and focusing and feeling and observing and feeling and observing and feeling. We're just giving you the bigger picture. We just want you to understand that there's something else that you've created. We'd like you to know that there's something else you could give your attention to. We'd like you to look for the positive aspects that you already feel satisfied about. You could have 10 major subjects in your life, and one of them, like Esther with her floor, not satisfying, but 9 others that do, and you could focus on any of the other 9 consistently enough that then you deactivate that, and that one would take care of itself. Because when you have a desire, that desire will become for you unless you are in the way. We'll say it again. We'll say it not maybe louder, but again. When you have a desire in your vortex, and you do, and it's not coming about, it's only not coming about because you are in the way with your thought. And when you are no longer in the way with your thought, then it will come about. So every desire will come about unless you are in the way. Nobody else is ever in the way. It's just you in the way.
So here is my finances, and here's my health, my family, my friends, my beach, my dog. Just focus on all those wonderful things and just don't think about the money.
And money's one of those things that's
money is the biggest.
It's a little rough not to think about, because every day money. But
I'm okay with I've been in a place in the past where we won't go there. I was very worried about it because there wasn't enough to do what I needed to feed my family, whatever.
You might be hearing it. Here's the thing. Do you accept that your inner being feels good about the things you're asking for? Does it follow that when you feel satisfied that you are in the vicinity of where your inner being is? Have we convinced you that satisfaction will get you to what you want?
Yes. Feeling good.
Have we convinced you? Yes. Well, we don't want you to say it if we haven't convinced you. So we're just going to say it because we know it. When you feel satisfied, you're offering no resistance. And when you're offering no resistance, you're moving in the direction of your desires. Let's just say this really clearly. If all of that is true, and it is, and if feeling satisfied more of the time is all that is necessary, then doesn't it just follow that I stay off the subjects that are unsatisfying and more on the ones that are? Are there any television programs that bother you? Do you watch them anyway? Or do you gravitate to things that are more satisfying? We want to find some way of saying it so that you can hear it, that since satisfaction is the key to your allowing everything that you want, it's satisfaction that's the key. It's not thinking about money that's the key. It's not cleaning up the beliefs that are in your way about money that is the key. Because when you try to get to the bottom of what's wrong, there's no bottom. It just becomes more and more and more. We're just going to offer a series of statements, and we know you're going to get this. I want more money, and I don't have enough. I want a lover, and I don't have a lover. I want clarity, and I've got confusion. In other words, we're just stating the 2 ends of the stick. Every subject has 2 ends of it. Wanted and absence of wanted. I want more money, and I don't have enough. I want to be satisfied. I want more money, and I don't have enough. I want to be satisfied. I want a lover, and I can't find a lover. I want to be satisfied. I want to feel better in my body. I don't feel good in my body. I want to feel satisfied. Now, we want you to detach the money from the idea of satisfaction, and the missing lover from the idea of satisfaction, and the things that are not the way you want them in your body from your idea of satisfaction. Because we're not saying you need to be satisfied about your body to get the body that you want, or you need to be satisfied about the money to get the money you want, or you need to be satisfied about the lover, because that isn't possible. As you stand in the absence of what you want, you can't find satisfaction. But you've got to find satisfaction to let it in. So you have to find some way of separating the subject of lack from your state of allowing in order to be in the state of allowing. Did you get that? Yes. So somebody will say, did you find your lover? Oh, I'm not thinking about that. Till now. You just reactivated the absence of my lover right here in my life experience. Thank you very much. So you get the idea of it? There are so many things to feel satisfied about. And eventually you'll reach the place, and not very long from now, really, that when satisfaction is what you want. I want satisfaction more than I want money. Wait, I want satisfaction more than I want money. I want satisfaction more than I want a lover. I want satisfaction. In fact, all of those things that I think I want because I think I will feel better in the having of them. I want satisfaction because satisfaction is alignment, and alignment brings everything. So you're getting closer to really knowing what we mean about this. And so it doesn't take very much of that, just really avoiding the subjects that will lean in a place of discomfort and activating subjects that lean in the direction of satisfaction before you'll be so accustomed to satisfaction. Satisfaction will be your natural tone. It will be your set point. It will be your go-to feeling. It will be who you usually are, so much so that you'll be able to find satisfaction even on the subjects that are currently difficult. You'll be able to stand in the absence of the money that you want in utter satisfaction. Now, that's how your inner being does for you. Your inner being knows what you want and knows where you are, but feels no dissatisfaction about where you are, because your inner being knows what you're in the process of becoming. And you could do that too. If we could convince you that the joy is in the journey, then you'd stop worrying about any place that you're not already to.
I didn't feel like I was walking around worried or dissatisfied. That's
we know you
part.
didn't.
Yeah.
And yet your thoughts were scattered, and you're not getting what you want because you're not in touch with how you're really feeling about these things that matter to you. And now maybe you have a better opportunity to do it, because the fact is you had a lot more dissatisfaction going on than you would even cop to. You had a lot more dissatisfaction. Everyone does. You have a lot more dissatisfaction going on than you want to admit to, because logically you think, well, if I'm the creator of my own reality, I wouldn't do that to myself. Well, you are. You're the only one that is doing anything to yourself. You're doing it to yourself. You're doing it to yourself and not even knowing you're doing it. And the reason you don't know you're doing it is because you think it's about the money and the lover and the wedding, and it's not. It's about satisfied, 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 satisfied. Because step one is life causes you to ask for what you want, and you do all your work. All your creative work happens in step one. This happens, you prefer this. This happens, you prefer this. You sorting it out in step one. Step two is source becomes the vibrational equivalent of everything that you've put into the vortex, and law of attraction summons all of the cooperative components. So step two is when you ask, it is given every single time. Immediately there is a vibrational version of it. Step three is you've got to translate that vibrational version into thoughts and actions and impulses, because you want the journey, you want your hands in the clay of turning these thoughts into things. So step three is you find satisfaction for a minute. You find satisfaction. Step four is you're so good at it that that's where you usually are. You're the master of satisfaction. Satisfaction and the receiving mode are one and the same thing. When you are satisfied, you are in the receiving mode. If you are dissatisfied, you are not in the receiving mode. So if you're going to allow yourself to witness your thoughts turning to things, you've got to be in the receiving mode so that you can comprehend those thoughts turning to things. You can't be under the illusion or under the influence of the absence of what you want and allow what you want into your experience. Does this make sense to you?
Yes. Yeah.
Does it? So when you acknowledge that, do you acknowledge we've been telling you this story for a while, so you put it into the vortex, and then we said to you for a while. In fact, we wrote 2 books about this. Get into the vortex. Get into the vortex where you can't see it or hear it or smell it or taste it or touch it, but you'll be able to feel it. And when you get into the vortex, what are you feeling? Satisfaction. Feeling satisfaction. You're not feeling the absence of what you want. You're feeling the presence of what you want. So when you're in the vortex, you're in the receiving mode. When you're feeling satisfaction, you're in the receiving mode. So here's this vortex all full of what you want, this very high frequency, and you're complaining about something. You're not in the vicinity. And how do you know you're not in the receiving mode? Because you're not feeling satisfaction. But what if you're enjoying a sunset? You're in the receiving mode. The sunset didn't last very long, Abraham. Now you're on the beach, you're feeling satisfaction. Well, this is a little bit of conditional living we're encouraging you to. That's like you have to just go do things that feel good to you, and then you'll be in the receiving mode all the time. That's not what we're talking about, although that does help. We would do as much as we could do to be as satisfied as we could be, as much as we could be satisfied. We'd be doing all of that. We encourage you to pamper yourself and be nice to yourself as much as you can. It will enhance your being in the receiving mode. But we also would encourage you to take time to think no thought, Because when you're thinking no thought, then you're no longer doing that thing you do that's keeping you out of the receiving mode. And when you're no longer doing that thing you do that keeps you out of the receiving mode, your vibration rises, you're in the vibrational equivalency of your inner being, and you are satisfied. You see what we're getting at? It's so natural to be satisfied. You're like a cork that wants to float. Hold it under the water if you want to, but let go, boom, right back up there where you belong, you see. And so unless you're doing that thing that you do that keeps you from being satisfied, you'll be satisfied. And what's that thing you do that keeps you from being satisfied? Pointing out that something's missing, pointing out that it's not the way you want it to be. We went all around that. We gave it everything that we've got and everything that Esther could find in her vocabulary to express the vibrational equivalency that she was feeling from us. Did you hear it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Really good. Really good.